Greetings. Okay, I thought I'd just throw this one. It's at a stage where we're going to be putting a concrete floor down for an extension that we're going up. Now, the reason for all this mesh and steel and holes in the wall there is due to the fact that the foundation's ground was pretty bad, so we had to have piling, which means you get some big steel posts going into the ground. I don't think the steel anyway, but posts going into the ground. Could be 3 meters, 4 meters, depends how far they go, and they get till they hit bedrock. And obviously it's all concrete and meshed, separate issues, separate job on that. But the reason for the top on the base is because the ground is pretty knackered as well. If you just go putting a concrete base inside an extension, has a chance of hollowing and obviously giving you problems and maybe sinking down, you know, due to it. So what we've done here is you've got the outside wall. I'll have to try and show you a bit easier there. Outside wall, and then you have an inside wall, which there. So you've got your outside wall, which is this. That would be your cavity of a 4-inch 100mm, which is more nowadays due to building regs. And then opening it up, you have another brick, which will be your internal course. So what we've done on this side is the steel then is a support strengthening the concrete, and then the concrete then is overlapping onto the inside course, which then is on the foundation of the ground. So what it's doing is it's kind of like a floating system, if you will, you can call that. So if anything goes wrong with the ground underneath, then it's not going to cause any problem with the floor because it is supported on the sides. So the reason for these holes through here, if my hand gets out of the way there, is the concrete again goes in from the floor and goes into the side of the brickwork, onto the brickwork course, blocking off any cavities on the other side so that the concrete doesn't get in. And then when it's set, so the concrete then will go into those holes, and then it'll be like little legs of stands that then will also do the same as what it's doing on the outside, take the weight off this floor here. So the reason for the going back, that polystyrene there is that will get ripped out at some point with more different insulation going into it, but that is just to keep your cavity as a space. So it's a bit wasted really, but when you concrete all this and the concrete goes over this outside the internal wall, then it doesn't go into the cavity. So that's just like a cap and a cap off thing, if you can call that. So yeah, if you have problems with ground, obviously you need to go into piling, something like this piled, which is about 6.5 by about 3.5 meters. You're probably looking at about £5 grand, probably about 10 grand if they carry on raising all the prices soon. Well, no, about £5 grand. Go there. So again, we're looking at this side. As you can see, the steel then goes through, and just about see it there, through and under, and resting with all the damp proof going right around it. These little sections there are to raise it off the ground. So if you're doing like a 125 concrete base, these are just little stands to keep the steel in the middle of the concrete, if you can say that, just to kind of stop it from dropping down or coming up. So they're set at 50mm off the ground, and then the rest will just go concreting straight above it. When you're doing your base work, obviously you have a sheet that goes on top of the sand, which is then on stone under that, but then the sheet then overlaps everything, and then you have your insulation, which you can't really see. It's probably somewhere in there. There he is. Could be 100, could be 125mm, depends on your architect. And then another sheet then goes over the top of that Kingspan thick polystyrene insulation. Reason for that, and they've only changed that so many years ago, is they did notice that when the concrete was just going straight onto the insulation, it was causing like a fishy smell, and then obviously reacting to the insulation. So now they keep it separate, so a sheet over the insulation, and then you can concrete. So yeah, just how to do a strengthened concrete base floor in an extension. I hope that helps. Be seeing you.